Michael, he was built different. When you look at these players in today's era, being LeBron, there's really no comparison. Well, I feel like that the game changed. It became more of a perimeter shooter game, if I could say that. And I think I remember right when I was leaving the game, early 2000, that the league promoted more scoring. They wanted to get more points up on the board. They felt like that would get the fans more engaged. At that point, to me, it started looking more like a game built for offensive players, guys that did play defense and took pride in playing defense. Were to some degree punished, I felt like, because everything was working in favor of the offensive player. And then they put the circle in there where a guy is not allowed to take a charge at certain points in the lane, at a certain position in the lane. So I think with a lot of things changing within the game, and a lot of it was for the good, looking at the physicality of the game as to where it was in the 90s. But I think a lot of that got wiped away, and I think that's where a lot of the fans lost interest. I felt like David Stern era, he ran the game. I think Adam Silver's era, he's more or less allowing the players to have some input in terms of how the rules of the game are changing.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it looks like it's pretty bad right now.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
But I think from a standpoint of players being healthy, those are some precautionary measures that they've taken in the game where players don't like to play back-to-back. So I think it's a lot of things. I definitely feel like the three-point shot has turned fans away from the game because it's just no teamwork in shooting a three-point shot. There's no teamwork in coming down and taking a shot from behind the three-point line. But there's teamwork in coming down and executing a play. Everybody touches the ball and you get a bucket out of it, whether it's a 2 or a 3. But it's something that drew people to love the game, to love certain teams that played a certain way. And I don't think you see that in today's game. I feel like the last team that played with that kind of chemistry was the Golden State Warriors. They moved the ball, but it was about a lot of jump shooting, a lot of three-point shooters, but they had the greatest shooters in the history of the game, and they had the greatest shooters in the game at that time. So it was a great sight to really see a great team executing, playing together, and shooting the three-point shot. Well, in today's game, as we watch it, we don't see that great team chemistry of a team that has been doing this and have longevity of success. So it makes it hard for you to lock in and like what you're seeing.
Yeah.
I would definitely say that's fair, but I would give a lot of the credit to Michael Jordan because of the fact that he had created something with the Chicago Bulls, and that myself and other guys that came along, we built up on that. And it became, in the late 90s when we got Dennis Rodman on the team, that we were, or people looked at us as a rock band. And when we came to different cities, we had that kind of feeling that, we had to put on a show, we had to perform. And that's why when you look at those teams, and especially my Bull teams back there were no days off. Guys came to play whether they were injured, sick, no matter what, because we felt like that we had to perform, and that there were people coming out to watch us perform. Well, I can say in today's era, especially with social media, players allow the public to know their personal things, whether it's political, financial, family, whatever. They allow the public to get involved in it. So when you ask me to make that comparison with Michael or LeBron, well, Michael never put himself in that position. I mean, his words speak for itself. I mean, he's never gonna put himself in a position where you know his political thinking, his political mindset. He stays away from that. He's a basketball player. He's not a politician. He's not one that's going to get involved in any kind of debate. He's going to focus more on playing basketball and what it takes to win championships. And that's all he's going to speak around. Yeah, that was just his whole mindset because, you know, as we look at it today, he had a big engine, a big brand behind him that he's always had to protect. In the 90s, we didn't have social media, so we didn't have a way to turn fans off, especially from a political standpoint.
Yeah.
We didn't have a way to encourage them from a political standpoint. So we just had basketball, and it was a lot easier to focus on our craft and our job and grow from that. We didn't have a lot of the distractions that, you know, players have now with social media. We had a lot of newspapers. There were more magazines and things printing stories, but you know, it takes weeks, days, months for those kind of stories to get out. Whereas social media, it's every day, it's 24/7, it's every 30 minutes, every minute something's jumping off. It was just one of those practices where, you know, guys just talking trash. Guys were excited to, you know, be in the gym for one and practicing. And, you know, Magic was one of those guys that, you know, he wanted to rah-rah and get everybody together, but also, hey, we're here to work. And so Magic made it a little more competitive and started kind of poking a little bit at Michael, letting him know, you know, I've been away and you got a championship, but hey, I'm still Magic, da-da-da. And so it just kind of got a little bit heated. Nothing in a bad way, just one of those days where, you know, Michael put more energy on the basketball court than he did on the golf course. But yeah, he came out and, you know, was talking trash. And every day after practice, we would go back to the rooms and play cards and just kind of sit around and talk and smoke cigars. I think it's just me believing in myself, in the way that I played the game, that I did it the right way. I did it where I won. I played the right way. My teammates loved the way that I played, and people, my peers, respected the way that I played. And I feel like that I got out of the game everything that I put into it. You know, I was a guy that I was a walk-on. You know, I was a guy that went to 3 camps just to get drafted, and end up being the 5th pick. So I feel like the work that I put in over 15, 20 years, you know, before and during my professional career, that I played the game the right way, that I played it where I showed younger players how to be successful and how to enjoy the game. I showed men's, women who is not as athletic how to play the game and to play it the right way and to play it from a team standpoint. I'm going to pick Michael.
Okay. Who's your 2?
I'm going to pick me.
I agree. Who's your 3? To put a team that wins, who's your 3?
I'm going to pick Dennis or Horace Grant, whichever era.
I see what you're doing. I see. Okay, so let's just say Dennis is 3. Who's your 4?
Don't matter. Give me anybody. I'll take you.
So let me get this straight. So your mindset is you, Michael, and Dennis will beat any team that anybody puts together.
We did it for 3 years. I don't know.
Got it. Okay. So that...
You want individual accolades or you want championships? Because I didn't chase mine.
Okay. And that's an argument that LeBron went to Miami. He went back to Cleveland to win with Kyrie, and then he went back to LA to win with Anthony Davis. All are, Michael never had teammates like that, and you had Michael as a teammate.
Michael, he was built different. Competitive 24/7. Not too many people are built like that.
I agree.
Willing to compete at any level and at anything. So when you look at these players in today's era, being LeBron, there's really no comparison when you talk about the level of competitiveness. Michael bunched up all of his competitiveness and sort of exposed it out to the world within 12 to 14 years. We saw his whole resume, his competitiveness, his drive, his will to win, what he's want to do. When someone like LeBron has to spread that out for 20 plus years, it's not the same drive, it's not the same fight, it's not the same hunger. And so when people try to make those comparisons of those two players, it's like talking to someone in the front seat and the back seat. They ain't even in the same lane. It's not even worth talking about.
The two of them.
When you ask who's better, LeBron or Michael. LeBron got lanes every night. When we played, there were no lanes. Wasn't nothing but hardwood floor. If you go to the basket, you're gonna hit the wood. There's no comparison. There's the basketball in the late 80s into the early 90s. Physical, hard nose, no layups, earn it from the free throw line. Today's game, it's about 3-point shooting. It's about driving it to the basket, finishing. Did you hear me say, earn it at the free throw line? That doesn't even exist in today's game. It's just about shooting the ball. Wow. Well, can I give them both to Michael? I mean, I can't knock him and say he was a bad teammate. I can't knock him and say he wasn't my favorite. I mean, we had a lot of success. So I would say he probably fit both of those categories. Surely a different game. The players are a lot more sensitive in a sense that they don't want any reaction with the fans. They don't want the fans having any type of camaraderie with them at all. They always feel that fans are a threat, and they have sort of, to me, they have separated themselves. It's the players and it's the fans. If you say something to me, it better be fucking nice, or I'm gonna have you removed from the arena.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's bad. I think it's bad that players cannot take criticism. I used to love going in the stands and having people call me out of my name. So I embrace the fans being a part of, getting at me, trying to aggravate me. Now, I don't see that. I can say that the game misses that. They miss that irritating fan. They miss that heckler that was irritating you and caused you to miss your free throws.
Yeah.
Those are things that, were a part of the game when I played.